Hi, hello, children. Good morning, all of you. How are you today? I am R. Venkateswara Rao, School Assistant of English, working in SSR ZPHS Bhimanapalli. Today, I'm going to teach you question number 18, Relative Clauses. It is under Section B, Grammar and Vocabulary. Easily you can get 2 marks in SSC 2025 exams. So, take out your notebook and pen, write today day and date, put the heading question number 18 relative clause. Get ready, children. There are common relative pronouns. They are who, whom, whose, and which. They are two relative clauses, defining relative clause and non-defining relative clause. Firstly, let's learn what defining relative clause is. Defining relative clause, which defines the subject directly, and the relative clause ends with full stop. For example, Lencho was a farmer. He grew cornfield. Combine the sentence with who. Observe the words farmer and he. These two words are defining the same person. So, we could easily put who in place of he and remove full stop and he. Now, the relative clause sentence is Lencho was a farmer who grew cornfield. See here, defining relative clause is who grew cornfield. Observe the sentence. It ends with only full stop. Next sentence, Lencho was a believer. He prayed to God. Lencho was a believer who prayed to God. Again, who prayed to God has become defining relative clause. Another sentence. I often go to Mumbai. Mumbai is the commercial capital of India. Combine the sentence with which. Same. See, Mumbai, Mumbai, the two words repeated at the same place. In such cases, I often go to Mumbai, which is the commercial capital of India. Have you observed? Mumbai means which means Mumbai. So it's defining directly that Mumbai. Now let's learn the second sentence, non-defining relative clause. Non-defining relative clause usually has a comma in front of it and a comma after it. Some writers use a dash instead of comma. We use non-defining relative clause to give more information but not to define the subject. All morning, Lencho looked at the sky. He knew his fields intimately. Notice the full stop before word, after word. For example, all morning Lencho looked at the sky. Sky, he. See, we can't define sky with he. Therefore, we need to give extra information about Lencho. In such cases, we should write only non-defining relative clauses. Let's write it in non-defining relative clause. All morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, looked at the sky. Or, all morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, looked at the sky. Both are right. Second sentence, the woman replied, yes, God willing. She was preparing supper. See carefully, God willing, she. We can't define the subject. In such cases, again, I'm telling you, we need to write it in non-defining relative clause to give extra information. Now let's write it. The woman, comma, who was preparing supper replied, yes, God willing. Or the woman dash who was preparing supper replied, yes, God willing. You could use comma or dash. Now let's learn how to use whom. We use whom for object, who for subject. Example, this man cheated me. I trusted him. Him object. We need to remove this him with the help of whom when we wanted to write it in a non-defining clause. We can write it like this man, comma, whom I trusted, comma, cheated me. Sometimes whose we use for possessive pronouns. For example, his, her, my, their, it's like that. Example, Lencho prayed to God, his eyes see into our minds. Whose? We could write it as Lencho, comma, whose eyes see into our minds, comma, pray to God. Like this, we use who for subjects, whom for objects, whose for possessive things, which for things. Another important tip I wanted to give you children, don't confuse these relative pronouns with the interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns meanings are who means evaru, who means evarini, whose means evari yokka, which means edi, evi. When we use these words as relative pronouns, who means atanu, ame. Who means అతనిని, ఆమెను, వారిని. Whose means అతని యొక్క, ఆమె యొక్క, వారి యొక్క. Which means అది, దానిది. Like that, these words meaning changed. So don't confuse relative pronouns meanings with the interrogative pronouns. Now do the following exercise yourself.